I admit when we did the first Pigeon Riot, like we had no idea what the fuck we were doing because there was no precedence. You know what I mean? We were like finding our way through it, and we dropped the ball on so many different occasions that it led to what it led to, which was a very dangerous riot situation. 4 days before the release, that's when kids started to like put sleeping bags and tents outside Reed Space. It was also in February, and it was like a blizzard in New York happening. And there was like only like 20 kids at that point. So we were like, all right, these 20 guys really want their SB dunks, fine, you know? Come back to Reed Space that day, and there's like 150, 200 people on the block. NYPD's already there. The whole street is actually closed to traffic. There's a SWAT van there, like pulling kids off the line into the paddy wagon and arresting them, you know? And I was just like, yo, what the fuck is going on here? The cops were like, listen, you gotta bring this under control. So I was like, all right, bet. I already had a security guy on staff, 300-pound fucking behemoth linebacker style guy, right? And I was like, all right, we got these tickets. Like, you know, like when you go to like Cass's Deli and there's like a 1, 2, 3, 4. It's not a raffle, it's like a numbered ticket. So I was like, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna give you the whole stack of tickets. You're gonna go outside and be like, all right, who's ever first in line, you're gonna get number 1. And then from there, I'm gonna hand out 2, 3, and 4, right? The second he put his arm up with the numbered tickets, all 200 people climbed on top of him. And I shit you not, all you see is like a hand with like tickets. It was like a scene from The Walking Dead where he's just like, get away from me! He's like, get away, you know? And that's when it became a riot. That's when people started getting really violent because they started pushing and shoving. He was trying to just protect himself, you know? That's when it got really, really bad. So then the cops started arresting people, and then when they started clearing that pile of humans, there was like knives and baseball bats, and I shit you not, a machete, like a Crocodile Dundee machete was found on the ground. And it was like, what could this have possibly gone to if we had let it escalate, you know? And so that's what happened with the Pigeon Dunk Riot. But like, I'm gonna tell you a side story now, because this week I just caught up with Upscale Vandal. And he was like, oh yeah, he's like, I remember that day vividly. What happened was, after a kid who legitimately waited in line and got the shoes, got them, cops were letting them out the back door, and the cops had called the TLC, the Taxi Limousine Commission, to line up taxi cabs in the back of Reed Space so that kids could safely get their Pigeon Dunks, go out into the cab, and just leave the neighborhood. And some of the kids were like, yo, I don't even have any money. I spent all my money on the Pigeon Dunk. And the cops were giving them like $5 and just be like, just take $5 and just go as far away as possible, right? So Upscale Vandal sees what's going on, and he's like, I see they're letting kids out the back door. So he goes out the back and meets them up, right? And he approaches one kid before he gets into the cab, and he's like, yo, come here, I want to talk to you. And he's like, no, I don't want any trouble. He's like, no, I'm not gonna hurt you. I just want to talk to you, right? And he pulls out $6,500 in cash. And he's like, come on, I want to take a walk with you. And he ends up negotiating with him down, and he ended up paying $1,200 for them. It wasn't even a size, he got a size 12. He paid really good price for them, and he was able to flip them for a size 10 in his size, which he still has today. But he was like, that was the first time where I really like saw a riot happening, and I had to dodge the police, and I had to pull a kid out of a cab and like negotiate with him. He's like, that was history made back then, you know. Today, 10 plus years later, people still talk about that like it's some, you know, mythological event, you know.